Rapmore gang, UK rap is back in style, all thanks to one man. And I'm not talking about that guy that claimed that he invented the Nike tech. No, I'm talking about the new hottest rapper to come out the UK, our guy EsDeeKid. He basically dropped his Rebel project earlier last year now, actually, 2025, okay? And he basically completely took over this whole new UK underground scene. Now, what's really interesting about EsDeeKid, okay? Nobody knows who he is. Or do they? Because in this video, I might have a little bit of information about who our guy EsDeeKid is. And no, it's not Timothée Chalamet. I'm about to blow your mind with this video, all right? But before I do that, I need to just give you a little bit more backstory about this guy's monumental come up, okay? So basically, this studio album of his, Rebel, it was the most streamed rap album on Spotify back in November, okay? Coming from humble beginnings, this ended up becoming one of the most just groundbreaking albums to ever come out of the UK. And his song, okay, his song 4 Roars has been absolutely charging up the global Spotify charts. This ain't the UK charts, people, all right? This is not the UK charts. He is independently, okay, as a UK rapper, he took the slots of the most number one and number 2 most streamed rap songs globally, right? With Rebel, the Rebel Project, and 4 Roars. This is absolute insanity, and he didn't even need a little baby feature to do it. How crazy is that? But look, okay, to give you a little bit more backstory, all right, as to how we got here, a lot of people have been thinking for a little bit, because of his handsome eyes and his, you know, his interesting complexion, there'd been a huge rumor that had been going around suggesting that EsDeeKid might have actually been actor Timothée Chalamet in disguise. All right, there he was. So basically, all right, Big Timothée Chalamet, okay, everybody thought that this is actually who was behind the mask with EsDeeKid. Now, I know that Timothée Chalamet is a good actor, okay, but being able to pull off that Liverpool accent, I just don't know if he's really got the chops. But a lot of theories have been going around, and there was a really great YouTube channel called 1111 that actually did quite a good job as far as like breaking down and covering the rumors surrounding, you know, this potential secret identity of EsDeeKid. And let's just have a little recap before I confirm that it's cap and tell you who he really is.
This is gonna sound crazy, but the world that we live in today, I don't really think so. That rapper EsDeeKid, the Scotch like UK drill rapper that has music with Fake Mink and the very famous song LV Sandals, I believe that may be Timothée Chalamet.
Timothée Chalamet cooked so hard. The top comment reads on EsDeeKid's viral hit. Depending on who you ask, 2025's hottest new rapper, EsDeeKid, is secretly Timothée Chalamet hiding under a mask. Yet, as crazy as this sounds, as of today, we can't 100% deny it. And neither does Chalamet himself, commenting this eye emoji under a post discussing the theory. Of course, only fueling these rumors further. In all of his pictures, videos, and concerts, EsDeeKid always sports a mask over his face, only letting us see his eyes. Combined with clearly being white, the biggest argument behind this comparison is simply, again, the thought that their eyes look similar.
This is where fans started associating Timothée with EsDeeKid. The pair share a similar eye color, but also a similar shape and form, as well as the resemblance in the nose and the eyebrows. This certain eye color is pretty distinct, both sharing a blue and green color, but also a hazel tint. The resemblance is truly jaw-dropping.
What I did was I said, all right, look, I'm gonna come with the angle of, it don't matter what I look like, you know, it don't matter what the artist look like, it's more what the artist sound like.
As an artist, deciding to cover your face always adds that extra layer of mystique. Like, just think of the Masked Singer TV show, for example. The idea of who is under that mask, the thought that it can literally be anyone, lets fans' imaginations run wild, which is clearly the case here with EsDeeKid. Thus, with that being said, is EsDeeKid really dating Kylie Jenner? Is Paul Atreides really taking over hip-hop?
I am Paul Muad'Dib Atreides, Duke of Arrakis!
In addition to their eyes looking similar, such as when Chalamet also wore a mask in Dune, some fans also pointed this picture of SD Kid right here, where as we can see, he is rocking an Alexander McQueen scarf with skulls all over it, which, as you'll notice, is the same exact scarf that Timothée Chalamet also wore in this picture for SNL. The same SNL where he not only portrays the character of a rapper, but then wears this mask with just his eyes showing.
So look, there's a lot of little tidbits and reasons why you might believe that it's Timothée Chalamet, okay? And these rumors were finally put to rest when we actually saw both of these people in the same place together at the same time, and they linked up on this song. I'm gonna be very, 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 very careful, all right? I hope that little 1 second snippet hasn't got me in trouble. But basically, okay, big Timmy Chalamet actually popped up on the Four Raws remix, okay? And this is a moment I was very proud of for the UK, okay? That's Timmy and that's EsDeeKid, okay? They're together, all right, in the same place. And it, you know, basically they're saying this is Batman featuring Bruce Wayne, Childish Gambino featuring Donald Glover. Some people aren't convinced. Miley Cyrus featuring Hannah Montana. The Bitch You Guessed It line killed me. Spider-Man featuring Peter Parker. Bro said he wasn't joking when he said all will be revealed in due time, okay? This was quite a smart little marketing move, and he even raps about Marty Supreme. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there's a part of me that feels like this was actually a bad move for EsDeeKid, because he was having all of this independent motion, all right? Yes, the rumors of him being Timothée Chalamet did supercharge his career, but no maybe a little bit of disrespect, but like, Timothy, like you, this cool underground faceless thing, this kind of cringe. Like, he talking about he Marty Supreme, like, I don't know if Marty Supreme's doing as good as people thought it was going to do. You let him take your underground banger of a hit and kind of turn it into promo for his movie. I do feel like this was a jump the shark moment for EsDeeKid, and I would really hope that this doesn't end up being what he becomes most known for, because if he ends up becoming a meme of 2025, that would be very unfortunate. But anyway, today in this video, okay, I am unfortunately for EsDeeKid, all right? I don't know what it is about me and just the biggest UK rappers and me just having to just absolutely, you know what I'm saying, twist the knife. But I'm going to reveal to you who EsDeeKid is today in this video, okay? If you didn't know, we got the work, we got the info. Basically, they're saying, all right, the rumor has it, this all traces back to EsDeeKid's first ever musical appearance as a feature on this song, Altered, all right? With an artist called DualSpines. DualSpines, DS, all right? An English rapper who kept his identity very secret, okay? Very interesting that these two artists would link up on this song, all right? Now, is this a link up? Is this a collab? Or is this just one person on a song getting very creative with it? Well, what's really interesting is that EsDeeKid, okay, this guy DualSpines, all right? A lot of people think that this is EsDeeKid. Some people have suggested, no, it's his brother. Some people have suggested, no, it's Cap. He's collaborated with a lot of the same people. You got Rico Ace there. This says, DualSpines is an English rapper from the UK who keeps his identity private. He gained attention in the UK underground scenes through collabs with artists like Rico Ace and his track Him Again that helped him reach a wider audience. Some fans have speculated that DualSpines might actually be EsDeeKid, noting similarities in flow, style, collaborations, though neither artist has confirmed this. Yeah, neither artist. So one of EsDeeKid's most recognizable feature is, of course, his heavy Scouse accent. And if you don't know Scouses, I can't really do the accent too. I'm from the Liverpool slums, lad. It's a part of the sort of the northern part of England, okay? Liverpool, you might have heard of it. You might have heard of Liverpool Football Club, Everton. You might, you know what I'm saying? You might know what's going on up there. But basically, people have basically got an understanding that that's where he's from. That's where he was born and raised, okay? This is little moments from his Instagram lives where you can hear him talking in his Scouse accent. And it, you know, it's obvious. It's obvious to anyone from the UK where he's from.
Palace is on Spotify soon. Keep tapped in. Thank you for all the love. I love you all. All this love. Like, I see every single comment. If I'm ignoring you, just text me again. It's crazy. I only started doing music like 3 months ago, bro. So. I don't know, what?
Now, people are in there saying Liverpool or Everton, Liverpool or Everton. I would put my money on Everton, but hey, what do I know? Okay. But this is Liverpool. Okay. It's right next to Manchester. All right. My UK accent ain't all that. Liverpool. That's how people be talking from Liverpool. Fucking Scousers, mate. That's my best. That's my best attempt, right? You got Liverpool, you got Birmingham. Birmingham's a bit lower down, Birmingham. And then you got London, people from the south and London that speak properly like me. No offense to people from the north, right? people from Manor. Manor put Manor on the map. People like H from Manor. And you got EsDeeKid from Liverpool, all right? And then you might link with my boys down in Birmingham, right? The Brum Rappers from Birmingham. So you get the gist. Liverpool's up here. Now, there ain't too many hot rappers that have come out of Liverpool. Probably the most successful street rapper from up there of recent years is this fella. This is Mazza L20, all right? He had a hit song called Murderside, and he actually blew up inside prison, okay? This is an interview of his. Shout out to Mazza L20, man. I really rate his stuff, but as you're going to hear, he really is on the street side of things. He had a big gun case, you know, he be doing the shootings and all the madness, okay? As far as I'm aware, EsDeeKid ain't really doing that sort of thing, but there you go. Listen to the accent.
Basically, Mazza L20, the L20 stands for Bootle. Liverpool, right next to the docks. That's where I grew up, like Queens Road, Stanley Road. But obviously where I grew up, it was just like fucking ghost town, bro. Because like, pure old Victorian houses, bro. But then obviously the council was trying to change everything. They moved everyone out. So there was just rows and rows of empty houses, bro. Abandoned houses, innit? We used to call them bombies. But obviously as a kid, it was sick for us because we'd always play in the empty houses, you know what I mean? Always playing manhunt, fucking, just like the normal shit, lad, coming from a deprived area, man.
What were you like at school?
So that's the hood of Liverpool that he comes from. And so EsDeeKid himself, he also claims to have come from the Liverpool slums, lad, all right, in Four Raws. Because I'm a scumbag. I was raised in the Liverpool slums, lad. So him and Mazza L20, they from the same place, basically, right? They from the slums, they from the dirt, they from the dust, the despicable, dirty dust of Liverpool. So what's interesting, okay, is once again that channel that I showed you the little Timothy Chalamet backstory from 1111, he covers EsDeeKid's rise to the top, his very swift rise to the top, following his initial feature with DualSpines. So let's just have another quick recap and find out what's going on with that.
Teenager. But following his first release on SoundCloud under the name EsDeeKid at least, then came a run of more Lucy singles. Before then, EsDeeKid's debut album Rebel arrived in June of 2025. At a total of 11 new tracks, Rebel is currently shooting up the Billboard charts as we speak, after debuting for the first time on November 24th, more than 5 months after Rebel's release. However, the reason that EsDeeKid is blowing up so hard right now, look no further than TikTok. February of 2020, as it seems like everyone is hopping on board and listening to this artist. But, released back in February of 2025, it was again his collab LV Sandals with Fake Meek and Rico Ace that first put SD on the radar. Yet his solo track Phantom has been the one to really blow him up. Produced by UK producer Wraith9, who also deserves a lot of credit as well, seeing as he literally produced every beat on Rebel. But what has made EsDeeKid's almost overnight rise all the more crazy is the fact that he is not signed to some huge record label. And unless you believe the wild Timothy Chalamet rumors, EsDeeKid is clearly not an industry plant, as rather instead, EsDeeKid's releases have been under a record label called Lizzie Records. And while of course, very little is known about them either, to be a small label like this, and for EsDeeKid to currently be outstreaming today's top rap stars, is truly insane no matter how you put it.
His flow is...
It's funny, right? Because they're talking about, oh, not very little's known about them. Bro, Bear's known about these, man. This is a rapper from back in the day called Sincere. He started this label, Sincere Lizzie. Sincere, he was tapped in. There was a rapper called G-Fresh back in the day. They was all doing that thing, right? If you know your history, you know what I'm saying? These Americans don't necessarily know what's going on like I do. But anyway, to really try and trace back EsDeeKid's true identity, which we're going to break down as we go, okay? We got to go all the way back to that track, all right? That altered song with DualSpines, okay? As I explained to you, they're trying to make out like this is a different person. They're trying to make out like, you know, these are two different people. But it seems, according to a lot of people on Reddit, these are actually potentially the same person. And this might have been some kind of like rebirthing or rebranding for, you know, DualSpines to have a new career. DualSpines, DS, SD, EsDeeKid. It's kind of like an evolution of this artistry. And sometimes you've got to start a new artist name to get the motion going. Now, EsDeeKid is obviously known for that Liverpool accent, okay? So let's just get another taste of it.
Yo, first goes to rock Cartier, that's a lie. Small tape, bro, 6 tracks is not small for a tape. If you want 6 tracks, that's an album, bro.
An album?
So, His collaborator, DualSpines, interestingly, seemingly actually rapped in like a fake American accent. And this is what kind of leads a lot of people to believe that like maybe this DualSpines persona, he was rapping in a fake American accent, wearing the mask, he was trying to crack into the American market. But ironically, once he rebirthed himself as EsDeeKid and started using his original fucking Scouse accent, I can't do it that well, but started using the Scouse accent and saying he was from the Liverpool slums, lad. That's actually when it took off because it was more unique. We don't need another boring American sounding Don, right? And so let's just have a little taste of what DualSpines sounds like rapping in that American accent. So this is an old DualSpines live when he's only got 3 people in his live, and he's showing his face. Oh no! Could this be EsDeeKid's face? This was a mistake.
I'm serious, I was oblivious to your shitty mind tricks. I'm falling big tears because I'm into ya, but you ain't interfere with my life no more. I went and disappeared into a.
To me, it sounds like a Scouser trying to do an American accent, if I'm honest with you.
Big gray cloud in this big gray town. We the best, we the best.
Better listen now.
It's a mission sound.
I'm fucking sipping brown.
Now you won't let me in, so why
Kick it down. 2 slugs at the end of my barrel, but man, I'm trying to keep my head down, straight on the narrow. But wanna die like a pharaoh.
I think that this is a Scouse doing an American accent. Now, maybe you won't believe me. I personally believe it. I think the eyes and the nose and the face shape does match up. And basically, there's a YouTuber called Yerla who basically did a great job digging deep into DualSpines' background pause and the interesting connections between the 2 artists.
Is EsDeeKid DualSpines? I warn you, this is some chronically online underground rap fans.
Apparently, there are theories that have been going around since EsDeeKid appeared about him being another rapper called DualSpines. DualSpines is honestly a bizarre figure. He used to make music and was around in underground circles, collaborating with some of the same people EsDeeKid does now, making music that kind of sounds like an underdeveloped EsDeeKid with a more American accent. But
what I want to say that I think is really interesting, right? This UK, I'm gonna keep it real, all right? Because I'm big bro right now, okay? I'm not a YW anymore, okay? I'm a big bro. I'm a few more years and I'm gonna be unk status, okay? I'm okay with that, right? But what I will say about this new generation, these UK underground kids, all right? There's a whole movement of UK underground kids. You got EsDeeKid, you got this Fake Mink, he's hard. You got Rico Ace, all of them guys that jumped on that song LV Sandals. Who else you got in that UK underground scene? Like, there's a few names that are doing their thing and they're making this whole new sound. I don't know whether you consider, who's that other guy? Jim Legacy, I think some people would say is UK Underground. Maybe I got that wrong. A lot of people feel like Lancey Foo, he kind of pioneered some of this UK Underground stuff. Now he's mad salty. The EsDeeKid signed a $30 million deal. But there is no group of rappers in the world, probably, that are more bougie and gatekeepy than these UK Underground youths right now, okay? To get around these, to get a track with Rico Ace, to get a track with Fake Mink, SD, these guys ain't fucking with you. They ain't fucking with anybody. They're super bougie. They're pulling the ladder up behind them, right? They're the gatekeepers. And I rock with it. That's what you got to do. All right, when you got the aura, you can't just share that with anyone. You can't just jump on tracks with random boom bappers. That's why EsDeeKid's getting mad that the Chainsmokers are doing remixes of his songs, which is so funny, right? Because it's like this UK underground scene, it's got this like punk rock DIY aesthetic. But back in the days of punk rock, you would have encouraged people to steal music and rip music and remix it. Now we're in this era where it's like the cool young kids, like it's cool for them to like nuke songs and copyright songs and be like, no, don't remix my shit. Like, the punk rock aesthetic of back in the day that you guys are trying to jock would have been like, yo, fuck it, we just rip songs and remix anything we want. But I digress, okay? What I'm trying to say is that these guys are so bougie, they're so exclusive, they're so keeping up the gates. You ain't getting no Rico Ace feature. Some random you ain't getting no Rico Ace feature. So the fact that EsDeeKid and DualSpines, they've just Rico Ace features coming out the wazoo and you want me to believe they're not the same people, give it a rest. That's my little take on that one, okay?
as soon as EsDeeKid came in, DualSpines suddenly disappeared. He deleted almost all his songs from streaming platforms, his music videos, his posts. I mean, he completely vanished, but now...
Isn't it interesting, right? When EsDeeKid, the new persona, the new wave, the new accent, the new no-face thing starts getting a bit motion, the old version of you when you had the fake American accent and you had your face out there and you were begging it, trying to get people to watch your live with only 3 people on there, you got to delete, you got to wipe that, right? You got to pull the ladder up behind you. You got to gatekeep because that's embarrassing. You guys are bougie. You're the bougie UK underground youths.
not without a trace. He had already amassed a bit of an audience, so there are archives of a lot of his work spread across the internet. His eyes do look very similar to EsDeeKid's and by extension Timothy's as well, but he has long black hair and is clearly not Timothy Chalamet. What I realized is that if EsDeeKid is for sure DualSpines, then I guarantee that he is not Timothy Chalamet. This was my best lead yet, so I got to researching. I need to find everything about this guy and how he connected to EsDeeKid. Most obviously, his name is DualSpines. DS, SD, EsDeeKid. It could just be a coincidence, but I also found a DualSpines song that literally features EsDeeKid. In it, DualSpines' verse seems to be in a more American accent, like I said, while EsDeeKid's verse is in his Scouse accent. But I'm not gonna lie, they low-key sound the same. I mean, it's kind of hard to even distinguish which.
See, there's the thing as well, right? It's like, this is a really exclusive circle of people. This is like the new school rap pack of rappers, all right? Ain't nobody getting no EsDeeKid feature right now. Bro, you couldn't pay $1 million. Bro. Playboy Carti might not even be able to get an EsDeeKid feature. Yeet, Drake, like, there was rumors that there was going to be a EsDeeKid, Yeet, and Drake track, and they were all going to pop out together, and that was going to be the big #1 moment for all of them. It was going to be Drake and Yeet's comeback. It was going to be EsDeeKid's big moment. He kind of wasted his moment on letting Timothy Chalamet jump on the track, and it wasn't a good verse, so I would say that was a misstep. But, okay, these guys are mad bougie. They're not letting nobody collab. So the fact that EsDeeKid, right, he would never hop on a track with this random Ute, this DualSpines Ute that's rapping in a fake American accent. He would never do that unless he was him. They're too bougie. They're not letting random dons with fake accents. Like, you let a UK rapper with a fake American accent try and get a feature off EsDeeKid now. It's crickets. You ain't getting no responses, right? He nuking your remix. So stuff like that just makes me think, bro, it's got to be the same guy, bro. You guys are moving too exclusive to let this slide.
Which part is which, and even weirder, in the music video, they never appear in the same frame together. Well,
come on. They don't even appear together in the music video, be real.
Not totally, as in DualSpines' verse, there is a shadowy figure in the back that you could assume is EsDeeKid, but then again, that could be anybody. He took down this song and there are only really low quality archives of it, but the only song DualSpines has left up on Spotify is one with Rico Ace, the literal #1 collaborator of EsDeeKid. So I decided I'd start looking at their lyrics a little deeper. In the EsDeeKid.
So elsewhere in this video, Yerla also covered some interesting rumors that DualSpines might actually be EsDeeKid's brother, and basically would talk about an event where they performed on stage right after each other. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not necessarily the same person.
EsDeeKid, like you can't even lie. It seems everyone who's researched this is either convinced that DualSpines is for sure EsDeeKid or convinced that they're actually brothers. You see, I found this picture of a guy DMing one of EsDeeKid's friends. He's followed by EsDeeKid, and SD has even shouted him out on Twitter before. He asks if he's right to think that DualSpines and EsDeeKid are the same person, and he responds by saying they're actually brothers. I then found a picture of an EsDeeKid story from 2024, linking to the DualSpines song that features him and saying, "This blew up a couple months back with my brother, real love to the people." DualSpines being his brother makes decent sense, but I'm not fully convinced. I kept looking at the research other people had done.
See, it's a bit easy, right? Because I feel like if that was actually your brother, you'd be shelling it down on stage with them. If that was actually your brother, EsDeeKid would be like, yo, let me put my brother... Right, if that's his brother, why has he got an American accent? Are you dumb? Like, just stop it. You think we're dumb? Like, right, EsDeeKid, just, you know what I mean? Just claim it. Just do your face... I heard he's going to do a face reveal. I did see a clip on a boat where he was apparently going to show his face. So this was going around basically. Okay, this was going around. I hope I had I hope I had that on. Maybe I didn't have that on screen. But basically, all right, this has basically been going around, and it's essentially, you know, EsDeeKid giving fans a rare look at his face. Apparently, he's, you know, in the process of filming a music video where he's going to reveal his face. I don't know what song this is going to be for, but this is basically. They're saying that he is about to get his face out in the next video, and he is going to bear it all. And then we're going to really know whether he's DualSpines, because once he pops his face out, oh, blink and you missed it, all right? Blink and you missed it. Now, apologies if I didn't have this on screen a minute ago, okay? But let me just run it. I'm just going to run it again, okay? Just so we can get all of the context, all right? So this is basically all the theories that it's his brother. And it's just like, bro, if that's your brother, bruv, like, if that's your brother... Why has he got a different accent? What, did he grow up in America and you grew up in Liverpool? Like, that's a pretty unlikely combo, innit?
Even shouted him out on Twitter before. He asked if he's right to think that DualSpines and EsDeeKid are the same person, and he responds by saying they're actually brothers. I then found a picture of an EsDeeKid story from 2024, linking to the DualSpines song that features him and saying, "This blew up a couple months back with my brother, real love to the people." DualSpines being his brother makes decent sense, but I'm not fully convinced. I kept looking at the research other people had done on this, and it turns out they both wearing the exact same long sleeve. And in the video of the show where DualSpines wears this sweater, he even performs the song he had with EsDeeKid. But guess what? He performs it without EsDeeKid. And guess what?
He performed it without EsDeeKid. Just, yeah. Okay.
Who was right there to perform after him?
Bruv, come on. That's him.
This dude really just went backstage, changed outfits, and then went back to perform as somebody else. Then again,
he changed the accent and he changed the outfit, and he really wants us to believe, no, that's my brother. Like, look, you guys are young, you're youths, all right? I'm big bro now, all right? No one's gonna believe this.
though this could technically all be a coincidence, and DualSpines just happened to completely disappear after this. Okay, well,
yeah, just so happens DualSpine disappeared after this, after his big bro with a different accent starts getting motion. I'm a fan of EsDeeKid, but it's like, bro, you think, come on, bro, we're not done.
I am wrong about one thing though. DualSpines didn't completely disappear. After EsDeeKid appeared, he has posted random stuff on his Instagram every once in a while, most recently posting a video of this weird instrumental thing, titling it 1981.
So, you know, this is sort of I'm 14 and this is deep type stuff, okay? But fair play, all right? And there's been a lot of theories about how DualSpines did just disappear after EsDeeKid blew up. You don't need DualSpines no more once he blew up, all right? People are saying, does anyone know what happened to DualSpines? And this is 8 months ago, right? And it's kind of like, we're going to just entertain the idea that they're not the same person, okay? Just for the sake of these comments. But it says, he just disappeared. My guess is he just quit. Yeah, just as the scene that he was involved in, he's got features with Rico Ace, and EsDeeKid is the biggest thing in the world. This is the perfect time to be in the UK Underground. Oh, but DualSpines, he just quit. He just quit as the scene's getting huge and his brother's getting a $30 million. He just quit. However, I do entertain the idea that he could be EsDeeKid. I'm not sure, however, DualSpines does put on an American accent, and in that song with SD, they do sound very similar, but in Him Again by Rico Ace, his accent doesn't sound forced. Also, DualSpines' final tweet before disappearing is, deleting Twitter, too much weird shit, man, spread peace, dated June 30th, 2024, which is also the time where SD was picking up major traction and becoming what he is today. When 3.5 months later, EsDeeKid makes his first tweet. So what I think is he takes a break from the net, rebrands, same genre, but more of his natural self. DualSpines also makes a tweet this year in February saying, I'm still here, weird, music soon, but never dropped. Then the same month, SD drops his biggest song yet, LV Sandals, with major guys like Fake Mink and Ace. I think that's when EsDeeKid realizes there's levels to it and he got to lock in with this new persona instead of playing alter egos like Jekyll and Hyde. I'm probably the only person that's looked this deep into it, but I miss DualSpines, man. So people saying, I remember once I was talking to someone about the possibility of him being EsDeeKid in TikTok comments, and then the video got deleted like extremely quick after that. That was ages before he disappeared. People saying, dude, it's like he completely disappeared. I always thought it was SD's alter ego. And then here comes the cap. DualSpines is his older brother. It's not his older brother, LMAO. It's just his old stage name. I swear some of y'all act like you never heard of artists changing their name. Any evidence or anything? And then they're basically saying that this is, but I'm right to think it's the same, Dual is his older brother. But it's like, bro, you will believe anything. It's so funny. Source, trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. I could type up some messages and say, like, I hung out with EsDeeKid last week, and I could just post that. Like, that's proof of anything, right? People are saying this is, you know, this is that original altered featuring EsDeeKid. It says by both DualSpines and EsDeeKid. I think they may be different people. Dual and SD are the same person. He came back as someone else and he's doing fabulous. That is what it is, and there's nothing wrong with that, man. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, what's interesting is fans have even highlighted specific references in EsDeeKid's lyrics that people think link him back to the DualSpines persona, all right? This is EsDeeKid and Rico Ace on the track Mist, all right? Chrome on wrist, check pending for the Young Scouse Kid made it sound like I'm from Texas. Yes, fake accent with a different name. People saying, no, DualSpines is his older brother. Please believe me. Can I get up votes? Take my updo. This makes so much sense. He was part of a group called Mist when he was under the alias DualSpines. He obviously talks about his old self. I'll be riding in the mist. That's what it's all a reference to. Long black hair like an emo. And Redditors would even reference this infamous performance where we saw both EsDeeKid and DualSpines at the same venue, but they didn't quite make it to the stage together. EsDeeKid was just 3 minutes late for his performance. He was supposed to touch stage, right? So stepped in Air Force, left in arenas, outfits change on the day. I'm a genius. It's not that genius. Can't get enough. I'm waist deep in a femurs, all right? DualSpines performing Cap for Your Head, EsDeeKid's first show, and he's rapping about it, all right? Stepped in the Air Force, left in arenas, outfit change on a day. I'm a genius. He thinks he's a genius. All right. He's a very good artist, bro. He's a very, very good artist. I got to give it to him. I love the music. The music's fire. I just realized these two lines in Tartan probably refer to when he performed as both DualSpines and EsDeeKid at the same show. Not sure if it's been mentioned before, and sorry for beating a dead horse. Now looking in retrospect, he's never hidden he's DualSpines. He's even hinted at it multiple times, so I don't know why people still deny it. They're saying this is EsDeeKid. Jay Brown. Apparently that's him. All right. I'm sorry to hurt everyone's feelings. Okay. But they're saying that's EsDeeKid identified. Saying he was so small. Jay Brown. People saying, I think this is actually him. The eyebrows, eyes, and nose bridge are exactly the same. Please, can you explain the context of how you found this? Actually, I have another photo, a TikTok user, and I have a contact who is actually a former schoolmate of Jay's who leaked the photos from school graduation. No. The aura's still there. Don't worry, EsDeeKid. Jay, don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good. Like, you can just let everyone know I used to be DualSpines. I switched it up. The American accent wasn't working. Right? Saying, can I see the other one? I've been trying to do internet sleuthing for myself because I'm from Liverpool, but I've been wondering whether he's genuinely Scouse as his accent or if it's exaggerated or maybe he's just a wool. Do you know where in Liverpool he's from? Right? They're saying, can I see the other one? Because if I send it to you now, it's known that he's from England, born in Liverpool. He went to school in London where he met Rico Ace. He's a Scouser by birth, but he spent most of his life in London. All right? People are saying, my mum's a Scouser. We moved back. I never met anyone else from Liverpool in London. There's people from Liverpool in London. Let's not be silly. Let's not be silly. Now, the EsDeeKid community has basically reached a point where some fans are pretty much resigned to the fact that the two artists are indeed the same individual, and it's okay. That's fine. People are saying SD/DualSpines' face is everywhere now. Insta Reel with 12.5k likes. So much for everyone trying to get his face deleted off the sub. I feel if these posts get too popular, he will fall off because a large part of his appeal to a lot of people is the mystery behind the mask. People have said that Dual is his older brother, but come on, bro. No one is believing that. People are saying probably it's the music that slaps, not the mystery around the identity, but it depends on the person. And I agree, the music slaps. Who cares if it's DualSpines? Who cares if he used to rap with a fake American accent? It's cool, man. Let's not get all, wrapped up in our feelings. Like, oh my God, my life's so... It's fine. It's fine, Jay. It's fine. All right? His music does slap, but have you seen the whole mystery around him being Timothée Chalamet? If his face is uncovered, he'll lose all the hype surrounding that. That's been and gone. That's played out. You jumped the shark with that one. It says, I think he probably knew it was going to get out at some point, considering he was mostly unmasked as DualSpines. The music is good enough to stand on its own, and the real fans will agree. Maybe removing the mask will be the next phase of his career. We did see that on Instagram. That's what's happening. All right. Maybe it will be the next phase. Let's see if can I pause it at the right moment? He's taking the mask off. Come on, baby. Show me that mask. Oh, I missed it. Sorry, guys. SD, all right. So look, let me just give you my final thoughts on this, okay? EsDeeKid's a phenomenal artist. The UK underground is absolutely taking over, okay? And I'm a huge fan of UK drill, but UK drill, we're not trying to hear that right now, guys. You're gonna have to hang up the Nike Techs. I see people switching for the, switching the Nike Techs out for the quarter zips, but it's not gonna work, man. You'd be better off throwing on a face mask and a Scouse accent and making a new tune, all right? Is what it is, okay? Is what it is. You had a great run, guys. It's been a pleasure, but the UK underground got it right now. That doesn't mean the drillers can't still have motion. Young drill artists coming up doing their thing. There's still potential, but right now, okay, it's the little emo UK underground kids that have got it. Your Rico Aces, your fake Minks, all right? Your DualSpines, your EsDeeKid's, all right? So it is what it is, man. Shout out to the guy Jay Brown, man. Apparently that's him. If I'm wrong, if I'm lying, I'm flying. I don't know. But people are saying that is the guy. All right. So hopefully they don't try and strike this video. I'm hearing face reveal is coming soon. And honestly, I don't think it matters that he was DualSpines. I don't think it matters. This music, it's not about your backstory. It's not like drill where it's about how many people you stabbed. And if it turns out you're a fake driller, you know what I'm saying? It ain't hitting the same. This is all about emotions and feels and vibes and how the music makes you feel. When you throw on 4 Raws, it hits different. When I'm driving the whip and 4 Raws comes on and I'm hearing do 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 coming out of both speakers, that straight stereo sound, I'm fucking with it, all right? So shout out to EsDeeKid. He's got the new wave. He's the guy right now, okay? This is no disrespect, but I'm just giving you all the information that's out there. It is what it is, okay? I will keep you guys informed if I hear anything new. And if this turns out to be cap and untrue, I will correct the record. But all the evidence right now is pointing towards EsDeeKid being DualSpines, okay? And then they're saying that this Jay, all right? Or maybe they are brothers, right? Maybe they're brothers and they got separated at birth, and DualSpines got shipped off to Texas, and he was at boarding school in Texas, and then they flew him back for the music video shoot, but he flew back to Texas, and then when he flew back for the show, he was 3 minutes late, and he couldn't quite touch stage at the same time, or he was 3 minutes early, and EsDeeKid was 3 minutes late. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. But anyway, all right, go and stream 4 Raws. All right, it's a banger. All right, EsDeeKid's killing it. I want to see that face reveal in his next music video on the boat. It's going to be a good look, okay? This is the new wave, the new era of UK rap, and I like it. UK's on top. We ain't had a UK artist up like this since a minute, all right? We ain't had a UK artist up like this since a minute. I love to see it. I would love to see him break all the records. I'd love to see him break Tiny Temper's record for the most popular UK song on the Billboard charts. It's only right. All right, guys, it's only right. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next video, man. Appreciate you watching this one, and I'm out here, gang. Peace.